Oh no, Anna's audio is off. No, just you're muted. That's all. Oh, no, now your mic's still off though.
Heck.
Oh, there it is. It's
Okay,
on.
here
Okay,
we are, finally.
let's
Okay.
start.
Welcome to
Small edit.
season 14 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every entrepreneur and business owner.
Hey guys, marketing isn't just about getting noticed. It's about attracting the right people and turning them into loyal customers. But with so many strategies out there, how do you know what actually works? Enter Devan Robinson, founder of Developing with Devan, a boutique marketing strategist who helps businesses craft bold, authentic, and result driven marketing. Devan specializes in high level, done for you marketing solutions that elevate brands, increase visibility, and drive sales. So, in this episode, we're cutting through the noise to uncover how small businesses can simplify their marketing, make a bigger impact, and stop spinning their wheels on strategies that don't convert. So, if you're tired of second guessing your marketing and ready for real sustainable growth, this is a conversation for you. Welcome to the 15-ish minute coffee chat. Woo! Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. So here we are. I'm kind of excited for today because anytime you talk about marketing and strategy, I get excited, as do you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's one of our favorite things.
Yes. Okay. So tell everybody what our call to action is today.
Do you have a bold marketing plan? Yes or no? What does that even mean? I'm not even really quite sure. We're going to find out today. What is a bold marketing plan versus a not bold marketing plan? Like what's the difference?
So hey guys, look, real life here. My dog is greeting our delivery driver, and I want to answer this question because I do love this question because bold marketing plan and not bold. To me, I see it as safe and a little risky, but worth the adventure. And that's how I see bold. And I'm super curious for you, Anna. Like, do you feel like you have bold marketing plans?
I think sometimes I think it
Yeah.
depends, right? There's some good old standbys that are always included, that are always
Right.
part of what I do. But I'm not afraid to take a risk when it comes to marketing or put myself out there as part of the marketing plan differently.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to say uncomfortable because that's not really what I'm looking for, but maybe like things that I wouldn't. Actually, I would pretty much do normally anything. So that doesn't really apply to me.
No, you are actually the more adventurous one of like trying anything, you know what I mean? And so I know you've definitely helped push me to be like, let's just try it. Come on, professionally and personally. So again, and I always reference this, you guys, when Anna and I went to watch Tiffany from the 80s play at the club or at the club. I don't know, whatever
She
it's
calls it a
trendy right now.
club. It's like the biggest
It was
dive bar in our
yes.
town.
Hey, just say club. We're trying to be cool in our 50s. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we go there and I'm too scared. I wanna kind of, I want to do a little jingle. Anna with her drink up in the air, she was raising the roof and all those terminologies. And she just was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go out there and have fun. And so that's part of what I feel like a bold person, marketing person is like. So anywho.
I just really quick before we switch gears, what I love about what you just said is that you put bold with fun. And I think a marketing plan has to be fun, right? That's part of that bold strategy, is making sure it's relatable and fun and brings the energy, whatever your brand energy is, that you can see that shining through. So, okay, now we're going to stop talking. We're going to let our guests do all of the talking about marketing.
Right. So I'm going to, let me bring up her bio, and then Anna's going to tell you a little bit about Devan.
So Devan calls herself the self-doubt exorcist, and she's a marketing strategist. She is a bold marketing strategist. And she is the founder of Developing with Devan. Not Devan. She is the founder of Developing with Devan and the Take Up Space Foundation. A millennial mom of 3, Devan is on a mission to empower women to break free from self-doubt, perfectionism, and people-pleasing so they can take up space unapologetically in life and business. I love that. Her journey from a corporate career that dimmed her light to building her own thriving business inspires others to stop playing small and step into their full potential. Through her high-level, done-for-you marketing solutions, Devan helps businesses elevate their impact with customized strategies that deliver results. She is also the creator of the Becoming Unapologetically You audio course and host of the Elevate Summit, an annual gathering that celebrates women's voices and amplifies their power. Now, whether she's supporting brands or encouraging women to rewrite their narratives, Devan's work is rooted in authenticity, bold action, and creating a ripple effect of empowerment and confidence.
So Devan is a good friend of mine, and now I want to call her Devon. I think that is so fancy. And it is now a new way. I love that you called it her. So I would love to bring Devon on, and
here she comes.
Here she comes, guys. Devon is here.
Welcome, Devon.
Hi. You know, it's funny because that I've gotten that actually my whole life. Devan. It's like,
yeah,
it's Devan.
I know your name, right?
No,
because I was talking too fast for my brain.
No, but I loved it. Yeah, I love it because I'm like, I think like when we're going really bougie, it's Devon, like, right? Like
remember that's all the time, Selena.
Yeah,
I am bougie.
exactly. Devon, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you here. Before we get started with all the questions, because we're dying to jump in, can we take our coffee cup selfie? And yes. I'm gonna just move you here, and then we're gonna raise our cups, and on 3, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay. Cheers. Let's do this. Cheers. I'm so excited. All right. Okay, Devan.
This coffee cup is like a soup bowl.
I know. Hey, guys, wait. Before we get started, Devan was with Anna, and they were talking about the name on her mug. Can you please show them while you're in the big screen what you did with your mug? Yes. Women boss.
It says girl boss, and I hate it. I hate when people call women girls.
Yeah.
Like it's I have a whole thing about it. I could welcome to my TED Talk. Like I'm gonna step down from that. So I was like, no, woman boss. Yeah.
Anna was like, do it. Like, so I had them in my earphones because I was refilling my coffee and I could hear Anna and Devan. Like, Anna's like, just do it. I'm like, see, this is what happens when you put women together, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna change things around here. So okay, Anna, let's start with our first question for Devon.
Okay, so I'm going to pop this first question up here, right? Because one of the things I love about your bio is you're saying no matter what you're doing, you're being authentic. And I think that really has become a very important piece of everybody's business, not even just marketing strategy, but their brand strategy. Authenticity is. And so as a marketing strategist, and a bold one at that, Devon, how can businesses create marketing strategies that feel authentic and align with their brand instead of just following trends, which is where I think a lot of businesses think being bold equals?
So my brain went a bunch of different directions as you were talking, and I was like, oh, reel it in, Devan, reel it in a little bit. But I want to start this with just like a little bit about where I started. So when I started posting on social media, I posted like pastels, generic things that weren't really my opinion fully, watered down version of Devan Robinson. And you guys have met me in person. You've met me a few times on the internet. You guys know that I don't generally water myself down when talking in real life. I'm not that person, but that's how I was showing up on the internet. And that's why it didn't feel good to me. So I realized there were a few things that I needed to switch in order to be my authentic, aligned self, because that's just not who I was, right? I've never been a fake person. I don't like fake people. I can tell. I'm a Virgo. I know when you are fake. It is my thing. Okay. So I wrote a little list because I knew I would forget while we were like talking. These are a few of the things that I switched around when thinking about building my authentic, unapologetic brand, because I'm one of those people that I just try a bunch of things like you, Anna, where Selena, you were saying Anna just, she's willing to try things, give it a go. Same here. You're not going to know what works if you don't try it. So I'm not afraid to get crickets. I'm not afraid for people to hate me. But that inner people pleaser that I used to be, that I'm in recovery of, who could rear her head at any time, any moment, she stops me sometimes from being that authentic, aligned person with my business and showing up on the internet that way. And I still catch her, right? And that's just how it is. And so that's what I've had to work through. And
Devan, can I share something about you that I'm just going, what I'm going to talk about? It's our thing.
Yeah.
So when Devan talks about being very authentic and we all, Anna, Devan, and I had met at a retreat in Charleston, and it was the first time meeting Devan. I only knew her online, and your initial vibe, not you, but just you think, okay, this person's more reserved, or this person is hard to whatever. So we were all sharing, a bunch of us female entrepreneurs were sharing kind of a vulnerability about our businesses with each other. And I had shared something, and I think I cried, or there was something that I just felt like whatever. And everybody was so supportive in the group. But Devan surprised me the most because she got up and she came and hugged me. And I tell her this, I've told her this, on the backside of it, I said, it meant so much because Devan and I had not really connected before that trip. And it was something about this hug that she knew in the moment I needed it. And she just got up, and we were not, and so when you talk about being authentic and sharing who you are, that's also another component of Devan I just want to share, is just in a moment of support. She just kind of, and me and Devan call it the hug. We're going to write a book about it and have a movie one day. I'm sure of it. But I just wanted to make sure I share that, because I love that you say being authentic. And sometimes when you don't want to be authentic, I can't imagine you not having stood up in the group of women we had just met and given me that hug that really just kind of allowed me to breathe. I can't imagine, right? Because sometimes we don't act on on what feels right. So I just want to make sure I share that. Go ahead, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to also jump in here. I didn't get a hug from Devan, but that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Are we sure? You're all right with that?
I mean, clearly there's a little something happening here. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, what you were just saying about sometimes that inner people pleaser, and I think all of us have it, right? All of us have this need to be accepted or desire to be loved and accepted for, who we are. And so we do things sometimes in a way that we know others will find acceptable. Right. So I really loved what you were just saying, that sometimes that inner people pleaser will rear itself and cause us to make different choices than maybe we would have if we were really, truly being authentic to who we are. Right. And so I just felt like I just wanted to really pull that thought out of what you just said. And so as we continue this conversation and you give us some of your thoughts on, creating that authentic brand, that we remember that it's okay if you fall into that trap, right? As long as you're recognizing it, as long as you're recognizing, hey, I'm only making this choice because, right? There are things that I do because I know it's going to make my mom happy, not because they're things I would normally do. Right. And I think that pervades through every part of our business and personal lives to some extent. So, okay, now continue on.
No, I love that. I just want to tie up, and that does go back into everybody's like, so why does this matter? But it does work with your marketing. This is a big part of how you can market and how much easier. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's just easier because you're aligning yourself authentically, like Devan and Anna were just saying. So I love what you both just said. Oh man, I can't. It's going to be a total love fest today. All right.
I love that you love that. This is gonna be a love fest. That's totally fine. I think, Selena, when we did a podcast episode, me and you, for one of my other endeavors, my discussions with Devan's podcast, that it was a love fest as well when we talked too. So it's fine. It's just normal. It's our vibes. It's what we do. Okay, so you guys kept bringing up bold. I don't know. I still haven't answered this question, but it's fine. So you guys kept bringing up bold. I will answer. For those listening, I will answer this question. I promise. Fingers crossed. I promise. Okay. So bold for me, I actually made it an acronym. It's like a thing. So bold, B stands for believe in yourself. O stands for own your worth. L stands for let go of negative self-talk. And D stands for determine your value. So there's actually more to the bold piece because it aligns with my journey of how I stepped out from corporate world, taking away my glow, my shine, my light, and turning me into something and someone I didn't recognize anymore. But that had been built up years after year after year. It wasn't just corporate world. It was society's expectations. It was social media. It was media in general. It was other people. It was other bosses. It was other strangers' opinions, right? All of that was just growing and growing and turning me into someone who I wasn't. And so my journey of getting my glow back, returning to myself, revolves around being bold in this way. And so when I think about bold marketing, bold, being bold, any type of that is what it stands for me.
I love that so much.
Thank you.
And just you explaining how bold breaks down for you. And if you guys don't know, we're all military spouses, so I find it awesome that you use an acronym just to kind of keep that aligned. So no, I don't know. That's a lot deeper, and I love that, like how that is defined for you. I'm Anna. What's your,
Well, I feel like you did just answer the question, right? I mean, just using that acronym, if you say how do you create a strategy that's authentic and aligns with your brand instead of just following trends? You believe in yourself, right? I mean, you'll have to repeat all the different, I don't know the exact terms that you use, but if you go down that list of using the acronym, it does lend itself to, this is how you can create a marketing strategy that is authentic, that feels good, that creates something in your brand that you can be proud of. I feel like just you explaining that word bold helped complete some of the questions behind this. How do you do it? So do me a favor, Devan, and just restate what the B, O, L, and D are for.
Sure. So the B is believe in yourself, as my children are running behind.
It's okay.
Okay, let me start over.
Snow day. It's a snow day. We should preface
snow day. Yeah. There's an ice storm coming at this time in February when we're recording.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're in Texas, guys. Devan's up in the New York State area, so very different climates.
I'm like 20 minutes from Canada. Anyway, so B stands for believe in yourself. O stands for own your worth. L stands for let go of negative self-talk. And D stands for determine your value. So that is my bold makeup right there.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm typing that so I can put it in a ticker right now across the bottom while we continue the conversation, because I really want to pull that out for anyone that's watching the show. I really want you to focus on kind of those 4 things as Devan continues to kind of give some strategies behind what she would recommend to a business owner that wanted to do this.
Yeah, no, I love that. And we will be sure to write out that acronym in our podcast description and YouTube description, because I love it. Now I'm going to look at the word bold even differently. Like I'm just, so I love that. Okay, Devan, let's share with us more things.
Share with you more things. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other day I was trying to figure out my plan for the stories I want to tell related to me and my business and how I've come from where I started and where I'm coming from. So I started out as a life coach. I can still do life coaching things. Love helping women with people pleasing, self-doubt, perfectionism, all that stuff. But the people that I ended up calling into my circle were business owners. And it ended up turning into, I actually am really good at marketing strategy. I was born to be this, to do this. I know because I got a human design done. And that's what my soul says. So, plus I'm a Virgo, so it's fine. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm really good at finding the holes in things, right? So that's why I'm a strategist. And I've been like that my whole life. My parents didn't realize it, but I have been like that. I see myself as like Doctor Strange, just like I can find and see all the moments and then find the good one, right? But probably more like his mentor, the lady that had no hair. I forget her name.
She was pretty
She was
pretty bad, you know what?
Yeah, she was a BA. That's what she was. Anyway, I don't know. I guess you guys don't curse on this show if we're whatting.
Hey, look, it's a thing. I know my grandma's no longer with us, but my grandma would just be aghast. And so we just try to keep it. We try. Look, we have a couple shows that have an E on it, but we try to keep it in the not E category.
We'll keep it to PG-ish. All right. So anyway, so that's kind of what I envision myself. And so my story, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I was trying to figure out, so how did I actually do the things? How did I actually become bold? And there's two things that really, really, really helped me as a person. This isn't necessarily like about your business plan or your business marketing. This is me as a person. Two things that I did. I stopped talking crap about myself. Nothing. No self-deprecating jokes. No anything. I don't look in the mirror and say, I could be better if I lost 5 pounds, or I'd be cuter if I didn't have a fupa. Like, I'm not going to talk crap about myself. And a lot of people, especially women, do this subtly, right? We subtly talk about ourselves. Like someone comes in and you're like, oh, my house is such a mess. Or you're just out and about and you joke about yourself in a negative way before someone else can joke about you. Because I know that's how it is. I don't do that anymore. Nothing. I do not talk bad about myself in any way, shape, or form.
So I just have to jump in here because last night I was watching the new season of Queer Eye, which I love that show so very much, right? And Jonathan was talking about that very specific thing. And he said, he goes, crop failure is what he says, crop failure. And he said, because what comes out of your mouth are seeds that you're sowing for yourself. And so when you speak those words, those detrimental words, you have a crop failure. Like nothing grows. In fact, it starts to wither and everything starts to die, right? And that stuck with me from last night, just watching that show last night, and then you repeating it today. And as soon as you said that, I went crop failure in my head. I'm like, I have to say this out loud.
I think the universe was telling Anna something right this moment, right? Like, hey, remember your favorite show? And I love Jonathan too, man. It would be a dream to meet him.
Yeah.
And
I just want him on the show and say, crop failure, we used it. I heard you.
It's part of Devan's story too. Okay.
Maybe he would be on your podcast. You never know.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I have a podcast episode coming out, and I'm going to shamelessly plug this because it'll come out this month sometime, which is February. And with Rachel Peterson. Do you guys know who Rachel Peterson is?
Yes, you got her on your show.
On my podcast. Kelsey and I interviewed her.
That's awesome.
Okay, guys, look, here. This is like, I'm redirecting this back to the show, right? So if you don't know who this is, but most marketers or people in social media or YouTube, they know who this is. She is like kind of this like OG of really helping others become just money makers for themselves in this digital world that a lot of businesses need to do. She's exactly where I went, and that it was the first investment I made into myself. And so I've just always followed her journey. And when I didn't need everything, like when I had grown, when she had actually taught me just enough, I was able to go out, but I still love seeing her. I love hearing the things that she shares. And so I love that Devan was able to get her on her podcast and interview her. That's so fantastic. But anyway, so we're geeking out here. If you're not a marketer, you'd be like, I don't get it. But look, if you're in that world,
I interrupted you. In the conversation, we didn't talk a lot about marketing because my vibes on Two Besties with a Mic is kind of similar to your guys' vibes where you get to know your best friends, right? And we've just started adding guests in there. Another one that I have coming up is Sam Garcia with Regenerative Business.
Awesome.
I love her. She's a fellow Virgo. So like we vibe. Anyway, So I'm really excited about that. So that's two besties with a mic in case you want to listen. Just saying. Okay.
No, of course. Okay, so Devin, I love that you said the whole, and I love that you're keeping up Virgo. I'm a Libra. Anna, what are you? Just so we can have
I'm right on the cusp of Leo Virgo. So
Yeah.
I am a
You're
mixture of
fiery
many
lion.
things.
And I realize now too, I only give you one thing that I don't do. So I still have to give you the second
Yeah,
thing.
give us the second one. What's the second thing you don't do?
The second thing I don't do is I don't apologize. Anna would, or not Anna, Selena, before we got on here, you said sorry like 3 times, and I wanted to tell you to stop that, but
Yeah.
I wasn't going to start right there and like go ahead and
No.
let me tell you. But I apologize when I really need to apologize. Like that is completely different than just a slip of sorry here and there, right? Because for me, I apologize for, I am so sorry that I hurt you. Like those have so much meaning. Words have so much power. We just talked about that. And so I don't, if a woman and I cross paths, like when you open the bathroom door and you're trying to go out the door and then they're both at the same time, because that happens all the time. I don't say sorry, I say excuse me. Right? But that's our natural inclination, is to say sorry for taking up that space, for being a burden in some way, shape, or form. So those are the 2 things that I did. Was I don't talk crap about myself and I don't say sorry, in order to show up in a bold, authentic, aligned way for myself. For myself.
I feel like what you're saying here, Devin, is you made sure that you're more self-aware about what you are doing and saying when other people are around, right? And while somebody may not have the issue with apologizing constantly, it may be something else that they do that excuses them for taking up space, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love what you're saying here is, in order for you to create a brand that reflects who you are, you first have to be good with who you are.
Yep.
And that's kind of like this first step you're talking about, no crop failures and no apologizing when you don't need it. Right? Like, be okay with who you are, because if you're not okay with who you are, you can't be authentic in a brand and push that if you're not already okay with that person that you personally are, especially when you are your brand, right? I mean, that's a really big piece of that. So I love that.
I got to tell you, it is one of the things that I actually do dislike about myself, is that it is a natural, more of my before life. And actually a lot of it, when I first met Devin, that's something she has always said and advocated for people to stop saying sorry when they don't need to. And so it's funny because I tell my daughter, you don't need to be sorry. I tell people all the time, you don't need to be sorry. What are you sorry for? There's no, but it is this like thing that just pops out of my mouth. And you're absolutely right. It's like I'm apologizing for taking up that space, but it's like, no, I deserve to be here, and it's okay. I can just say, like you said, I'll just say, oh, kalamai. That's in Hawaiian. It's like, oh, pardon me, excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, and I just have to say that. And so thank you for actually just reminding me, because I do have to work on that. I'm not sorry.
Exactly. And the thing is too with that is it takes years. Like I've been working on this for years. It's not like all of a sudden I just stopped. It's a habit we've developed, right? I picture it like we're on this train track, and until we can pull that lever and get on a new train track, it's going to we're going to stay on that same train track. So we have to pull that lever, and sometimes that lever just moves right back. We're back on that track. So we have to just do that for ourselves. And another way that I see people apologizing without saying sorry is over explaining themselves. And sometimes you have to, right? You have to give a little context.
Right.
For sure. But there's sometimes where you don't need context. They don't deserve your context. You can just be like, no, bye. You have to be okay with that.
No, Devin, thank you for saying that also, because I think there's been times where sometimes the quiet is awkward. And so that need to fill that space for whatever reason, or maybe my explanation wasn't heard enough. And I feel the need to, you know what I mean? And others as well. But I'm super glad you brought that up.
I think we do that a lot when we aren't sure if other people will be accepting of what we're saying also, right? And this is where that fear of not being liked or appreciated or loved or whatever the thing is, that connection you want with people. If you have the fear of, oh, if I say this out loud and I use these words, there's the potential that I will sever that connection, whatever that might look like, because they may not believe the same way I do or feel the same way I do, or it might be controversial, right? And so it's almost like a sense of fear that can hold us back from then being that authentic person. This is like a very deep marketing conversation.
No,
This
but
goes
it's
way
neat.
down
Yeah.
into this goes and it's really not about, I mean, part of it is about connecting with your audience, but I feel like this really turns the focus and says you have to really connect with yourself in order to be authentic marketer, right? And it's a shift in the show, but I really love that idea behind that because well, first of all, because I love self-awareness stuff anyway. I'm like digging into strengths, digging into the things that who you are and really like taking the time to get to know yourself better. That's a huge thing that for me, that I really love to do. And so I truly believe that's important because the better you know yourself, the better you're able to look at other people and see their, positive and not so positive qualities that maybe, you can use, grow with, connect with, all of those kinds of things. Good stuff.
Yeah. Two things that help me with that I have to keep repeating myself over and over again is one, other people's opinions of me are not my responsibility. It takes a long time and I still, struggle with that. But that's a lot of times why we over explain or apologize, is because we want to soften their opinions of us and make sure that they think we're a good person or whatever. I realize I don't like everybody. So why would I want everybody to like me?
Okay.
I had to turn my mic back on because I was laughing so hard when she said that. So facts.
That was the authentic side coming out nice and full right there. I don't like everyone. But you know what? Like, honestly, there is nobody in this world that's going to say, I like every person I've ever met, right? I'm sorry, but there's no way. So that is just verbalizing that. Be okay with being able to say, I don't like everybody. And that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, no, I love that. Hey, I'm the timekeeper here. So we got to shuffle on to our next question so we can get to the show. But we're going to have Devan on again, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Serena, we strayed so far off our question path at this point. I really feel like we just finished this out and let's throw the toolkit up there because it pertains to what we're talking about right now.
No, I agree. You know what though? And I think that's why, like, Devan, I think, right, a lot of your marketing clients, they're mostly female business owners, correct?
All of them.
So it just makes a lot of sense on how you're like kind of navigating them through how to be better at marketing their businesses. And I do love that. Like and do you find like that you come out like just there's that hesitation, that worry of being more bolder than they've been when you take on new clients and you say, hey, let's think about it like this?
Sometimes their version of bold is just actually talking about their services. So there's that. It's like a closed mouth doesn't eat. So open your mouth and start eating. Okay. Like you ate that. Like, okay, that's what we're going to do. I think that's some Gen Z phrase. I don't know. I'm a millennial.
I think that's super important to realize though, right? We are all at different stages. And I mean, like the Tiffany like conversation we had earlier, I'm out in the middle of the dance floor with Tiffany doing a duet, right? And Selena's at the table cheering me on. And we're all at different levels of comfort when it comes to putting ourselves out there. And so what's bold for me isn't going to necessarily be bold for someone else. And recognize that about yourself too. So if bold is, like you said, Devan, opening your mouth and just talking about your services and not being afraid to say, I do this and I do it well, right? Being able to say, I'm good at this. I'm an expert in this area, or I've created something really worthwhile. I think that can be very bold for some people, where others are like, that's all you do? Like, that's bold, right? Like those levels you have to recognize they're not always going to be consistent from person to person. So I love that some of your clients are right at that beginning stage of just saying, I have to go on video. Wait, I have to post something about what I do. What?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the tricks too. That's why I call myself a boutique marketing agency, because it's high touch, high level, have conversations with my clients, because we're not all the same. It's not cookie cutter. There's no way. And it's the same with, my stuff is done for you type services. So I will create the posts. I will create the captions. I'll use your branding. But if we don't know what those things are, then I can't create those for you. So it's a lot of self-reflection, knowing yourself and understanding. Plus, then there's the marketing pieces that you just need to know that information. Like, where should I post? When should I post? What should I do? Blah, 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 blah. So many things, right? That's overwhelming. It becomes a traffic jam of information, just stops you, and then you don't post at all. So there's that. So
no, I love that so much. Look, I know we've talked now for 36 minutes, you guys, and I don't know, I feel good. Like, I'm ready to, like, there's some things I'm walking away from this conversation with Devan that it's realigned me to be, again, a little bit more bold with some of the things that I have planned for my year. So, and I hope that you listening to Devan kind of like re-inspire something for yourself, whether you're an Anna or a Selena. Just sometimes we all do get kind of off the track a little bit. And so it's nice to get back on track and steam full ahead, right? So, okay, since we have gotten so off track, but we've really had actually a really great show. We should talk. Devan is going to actually share, which is kind of cool. We were talking backstage on like how she wanted to do this, and she's like, well, we were like, just do both. So Devan's got some toolkits. She's going to talk about. This is by the time of our show, she's going to have something for you that's going to knock your socks off. So Devan, tell everybody a little bit about it.
If you wear socks, I don't usually wear socks.
Yeah, or knock your shoes off, or your earrings off.
Your earrings off.
Yes. Okay.
No. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay.
Okay.
So I have 2 things that I'm working on that should be completed by the time that you guys listen to this. First one is 7 unapologetic ways I went from 0 clients to a fully booked business.
Love. And
something around that I want everyone to keep in mind. My fully booked business looks different than your fully booked business. This is all relative to my life. I was able to go from no clients to around 15 is kind of my max that I could do. And then I was able to bring people on to my team, which is nice. So I want to grow in that way, but that might not be a way that you want to grow. So just keeping in mind, but all of these ways are something that helped me show up in a way that people see me as the expert, pay for my services without question, and we grow together with all my clients. We grow together. So that's one of them. And then the other one is more of a checklist type deal. And it is basically, and I might change the title around, but it's a checklist of how to show up on social media, how to market your business without praying to the algorithm gods. Okay. It's about how do I show up in a minimalistic way without burnout for social media? How do I market my business in a way that will actually move the needle? And so it's more of a checklist style thing. It's all the things that I've done to grow my business as well. This past year was the year I made the most money in my business. I've been in 4 years. And for me, And money is relative again too. So it's like, what do you want? $1,000, $10,000, $100,000? What do you want? You have to be strategic around that. For me, I live in a small town. The average income here is like 20K, an annual income. Like that's bad.
Wow. Yeah.
So for me, this past year, I made more money than I would have made working anywhere in this town, which is mind blowing. I didn't make more than someone would make living in like Chicago, but we have to keep that in mind as well, right? Is where
Hey, you will this year. You will this year, Devon. You will.
Devon,
Yeah.
yes, because
Yeah.
I'm so bougie. That is the goal, 100%.
I love it. And I know Anna and I will make sure to have, when Devon has completed these offers, we'll have them in the podcast description. We'll have it in our YouTube description, and we'll have it on our blog on our website. I'm really excited. I cannot wait for these to come out because Devon always has good stuff, you guys. So Devon, tell everybody where you want them to find you so you can continue conversations.
Sure. So I have a beautiful website built by Selena called developingwithdevon.com. Pretty easy. And then you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. YouTube's where I'm going to try to hang out this year. I have big goals. If I haven't made it to YouTube by the time you watch this, no judgment. It is what it is. Okay. 3 kids, husband's deployed. This is the life. All right. But that's where I'm shooting for. Okay. And I hang out in most of those places, but I want to talk to you. So like message me or something, like actually be in my world and hang out with me. Don't just stalk me you can, yeah. I like that. I do. I mean, I do like it when I go to conferences and stuff and people are like, oh yeah, I follow you on Instagram. I low-key stalk you. And I'm like, well, why don't you like any of my stuff?
Yeah. But that's actually what I said to Devon when I first met her in Charleston. I was like, oh my God, and she's like, okay. Because I just really was like, wow, finally meeting Devon. But you guys, you heard where to find her, stalk her in a very friendly way. Yes. But also don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
and come to my summit.
Yes. So I got so many things.
The date will be there eventually. I'll give you a date sometime.
We're at the end of the show. This is where Anna takes over and she tells everybody where we're going and all the things. So,
all right, everyone. Yes. So we want to thank you, Devon, for being on our show with us today. Loved the conversation. Cannot wait to continue it later. For everyone who is listening, come and find Anna and Selena at annaandselena.com. We love to hang out on LinkedIn. So if you're not connected with us there, come and find us. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and all of your favorite podcast platforms. You can catch all 100 and like almost 40 shows now that are out there with amazing experts like Devon talking about what they do best. So we look forward to seeing you on the next 15-ish minute coffee chat. Yay. Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys. Thank you.